shit's gonna take.
If I didn't work...
Of course, this time I pressed the button expecting it to not work right away, and it works right away. Hey everybody, it's time for fucking
Welcome to Pants Talk.
Welcome to Pants Talk.
I'm not even in the stream, I was still clicking it. Hold on a sec. Welcome to Pants Talk, where we talk about pants. But anyways, that's the store I recommend. I would buy pants from them, again, if I ever need pants and not just shorts, because I'm in my shorts era now that I work from home. No one ever sees me below the waist.
For shorts, or no need
so
for pants.
I'm really in my shorts shorts
I'm a big
mode.
fan of PJs on days off because it's comfy and I don't go places.
Yeah, I'm just hot like always, all the fucking time. Especially recently because like I've been having problems with the AC, and I finally basically a pipe was freezing, and I really got to get an HVAC guy because I think the whole shit needs to be replaced, and that's gonna be like $5,000 or some shit, probably more. But in the meantime, I found out if I just up to the temperature by 3 degrees, then it doesn't freeze. So I've had it on 72 the last few days, and going from 69 to 72 has made me want to die, because I fucking anytime it hits 70, my body's just like, oh no, death.
I feel like I didn't notice that.
Ouch.
Now I know this is like like a World War II guy, but I'm just now realizing he has a full-size cannon in his
Yeah. Then
like,
I think we talked about that last. I think we talked about that last game. Yeah. Don't you remember this? This is the same scene.
Yeah, I guess I forgot.
What's up, Mole guy? But yeah, the
we've done all this conversation.
I figured that 72 probably wouldn't matter for you two because you don't mind heat as much as I do. I mean, and like 72 is not hot.
It means that the blanket doesn't stay on, basically, is what happens.
Yeah, it's like 72 is not like hot, I don't think. It's just my body.
That's where most people
just hates heat. Which is why it's good that I'm in the basement. Literally, I got a little fan down here. Hopefully it's quiet enough that you can't hear it. I point it at me, and I go, ugh. And I'm not alone. Abby, same way. She's constantly panting, and I'm like, dog, me too. Me too, girl. So she's down here with me because she likes the basement as well. We just like, it hits 70, and the two of us go, oh, I'm gonna die. I don't get it. I don't know why. It's the way we are.
This game is pre-World War I. Yeah, I guess it would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I was gonna say. Oh yeah, I didn't even catch that you said World War II. I was gonna say this is like the year 1900-ish.
Right. Yeah.
Based on the context clues we've been getting.
Hey, what's up with this weird soap? You know anything about that? Mr. Garrett, could I show you this?
Been quite a couple of days, as you can imagine. I'm afraid I'm rather tired. I haven't really got the energy in the old eyeballs, to be honest with you.
Some other time, then. Alright, I guess that's not it. Can I get anything else from him? Is there anything in here that looks weird? I forgot that the fucking corner of the room is on fire, so they just put up a little divider. We know what that screen is hiding now. The aftermath of the fiery altercation the other day.
Well, I'll be able to clear up that mess for some time now.
Oh dear. This must be a very difficult situation for you.
I'm saying, people talk about twists of fate and whatnot. But this is a twist. A rotten show all around.
He's clearly struggling with everything that's happened.
I don't know enough about history. Well, it's not the War of 1812. That's the only one I know.
Too early.
That would be too early.
Yeah, I guess this is a disabled man who lives on the top floor of an apartment building whose wife is now in jail, so he lives alone. So that is probably a problem. Yes, those enormous mortar shells. It's quite something seeing them up close, isn't it?
Didn't you say something about firing them into the barracks, Mr. Garrett?
Huh?
Ah, we remember, do you? This is a mishap that occurred during training one day. What are you doing? Firing on your own men, the captain bellowed at me.
I'm not surprised. A little mishap doesn't really do it justice, does it?
I put a little oopsie. A little doopsie. Oh, one of these incidents when one has these little incidents when one's a hot-headed young
Who hasn't fired a shell into their own men?
We've all been there. We've all been
Perhaps
there.
I should put some evidence that resulted from one of my little mishaps on display.
Oh, does the great lawyer, like the great detective, want to exhibit some trophies of his finest moments?
No. I don't think there's anything else to find in here, I'll be honest.
Could have been the first.
Yes, opium. It flows like water.
Alright, we can go to prison or we can go to Briar Road.
The options are endless.
Let's just go outside.
Which way, Western man?
Oh, boy.
Prison or Briar Road?
21st? What?
Did
Hey, Brain, I know I just woke up from a nap. Are we good up there?
you say 21?
I did.
Bro, are you speaking in tongues right now?
It could have been the first Opium War. Oh, delightful.
Yes.
21st February, Briar Road.
21.
There's nothing here except for this shit-ass bike. Oh, hey, we can see the thing from the outside, though. With the exception of the top floor where Mr. and Mrs. Garrett live, all the windows are bricked up.
Yeah, same there. Yeah, same there. I get that. I understand that. That's relatable, bro. Yes, that's because of an old window tax that was charged on the number of windows a property had. In order to pay less tax, the poor members of society filled in many of their windows.
I know they explained this several times already, but every time they do, it's completely baffling to me. But the tax has since been abolished, hasn't it? So the windows could all be opened up again, surely.
Why would you bother? Unfortunately, it would appear that the residents of this district can't afford to pay to have the work done.
Yes, this is a sad state of affairs.
Yeah, the big thing with tax policy is that if you do it wrong, it results not really in much more revenue, it just results in a change in behavior. That's part of the point of tax policy, is if you want your citizens to react in a certain way. Like, you know, if you start taxing margarine, people will buy butter more.
Exactly. People just go like, you have to tax things that they actually can't do without.
Well, it depends if you're trying to gain revenue or change behavior. I don't know enough about the window tax, because like you can use taxes to affect behavior. Like for example, if you said, "Oh, we don't want there to be as many windows for whatever reason," a window tax would make there be fewer windows. I don't know that that's what they were going for here, though. But I don't know enough about 1800s British tax law.
Yeah.
I barely know enough about American. No. I'm a certified badass. Especially for poor people like poor Mr. Natsume, who have to live all cooped up in a windowless room.
I suppose that's the price you pay for living in very cheap accommodation.
It all seems rather pointless when you put it like that.
Doesn't it, though? Oh, I guess being able to see this from the outside isn't helpful.
Because it would scale, as Mulligan is saying, it would scale up, like, manors have tons of fucking windows. There always seems to be a bicycle outside the Garrideb residence. I read that bicycles are extremely popular all over Great Britain at the moment, in fact.
That one seems very warped, though, especially the front wheel. Is that to make it more of a challenge to ride, do you think?
No, I'm afraid that may be a result of the rider's incompetence. For the front wheel to be so badly warped, I'm afraid the rider must have been similarly affected.
Then there's a good chance Mr. Natsume has been practicing on this bicycle, I think.
Oh dear. I feel you may be right.
Sad. Can't even ride a
Oh,
bike.
look at that. What did he even do to that?
It's really fun.
That's like beyond. Well, hey, a free bike tire.
No, hey.
Natsume, I've got a solution. Go across the street.
Was this here last time, this shit-ass snowman? Why has someone
I
built
don't
this snowman on
believe
some
so.
sort of pedestal, do you think?
That's not a pedestal, Mr. Naruto. That's part of the snowman's body.
Really? But it already has a perfectly good body.
Well, it's true that British snowmen are usually made with 2 balls of snow. Perhaps this is a foreigner.
Oh. And now we're looking at him as if he's strange. Poor man. I know how he feels.
If anything, it's Japanese and British 2-ball snowmen that are the strange ones, isn't it? After all, real people do have 3 sections: head, torso, and legs. Yeah, I'll be honest, I didn't even notice this was supposed to be a weird snowman.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, it's a normal-ass
Yeah,
snowman.
That's a
He's got
snowman.
snowman of 3 balls. Everyone knows this.
Do you ever think that perhaps you think about things too much? Yes, all the time. Thanks, Nara. Thanks, Ryunosuke.
It doesn't have
You're
to be
right.
a snowman. It does. Well, guy, all snowmen are boys with big internal dongs. Spiritual dongs, you could call them. I wouldn't, but you could.
You could, if you wanted to.
You could call them that.
Alright, I guess we're going to prison. There was nothing for us there. 21st February, local prison. Cell 9. Oh, he's not even here yet. Well, what the fuck? I can't do anything in here. Where am I supposed to go? Hold on. There's not like a hint system in this game, is there? No, there's not. Alright, well, I'm just gonna start going places until something happens, I guess. 21st February, Sholmes' Suite. She's not here. Okay, let's moving on. Miss Green's hospital bed. She's not here. I don't think we missed
Take
anything
the
here
mouse.
either. I
Pick
took
him up, put him in your pocket, feed him some pizza. You can't actually take the mouse, but I want you to be able to take the mouse.
Put him in the sewers so he can raise 4 young teenage turtles.
That's a rat!
Nah.
Splinter is a rat, not a mouse!
Okay, did we miss
You
something in
fucking...
here? I don't think we missed anything in here. I guess
Up the cup.
cup.
Ah, one of those teacups that one of the teacups that Mr. Shamspear and his guests drank from last night. But don't go drinking from them, Mr. Naruto. There's bitter poison inside.
I'm not planning on drinking any, don't worry. Anyway, the cups are both empty.
That's true. So one was Mr. Shamspear's. The other must be the cup that Mr. Natsume was drinking from.
But Soseki-san wasn't poisoned, of course. Perhaps we should take these so we can examine them in more detail later. The pair of teacups has been entered into the court record. One of them is pink and one of them is green. Ah, they're color-coded to the guys that drank from them. Excellent. That was the thing we were missing.
Looks like I'm just gonna assume it. Looks like you're having a good snoop around, eh?
Yep.
Yep.
You were right. Inspector Gregson, back so soon?
I'm gonna fucking beat your ass. After I figure out they were Japanese. The clink. Oh, I love calling it the clink. I went and reported this to the investigation division. In 5 minutes' time, this place will be cordoned off by the yard.
Oh, I see. Well, we'd better be leaving then.
Poor Mr. Natsume must be feeling very low, being back in the cell again so soon.
It's really funny to me that this is the next day.
Yeah, he was in jail for like 3 days, got out, and then now he's back in jail.
I'm sure.
Hilarious.
We should probably go and... huh?
Hey, Shamsphere. What's up, dude? Did you have a good nap?
Did nobody check if
I
he
guess
was
he was
actually
method-
dead?
No. No one did. He was just slumped over with foam in his mouth. What's wrong, Mr. Naruto? Kia! I mean, you gotta do
Out,
this guy,
out,
right?
brief candle. Life's but
There
a
it is.
walking shadow, a poor player. That struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more.
Yeah, that is a good soliloquy, though.
Now, how soundeth the next part?
It is a tale told by an idiot
full of sound and fury, signifying nothing.
Indeed.
That's Macbeth.
Oh, happy day.
I love it.
What? Huh? Walking Dead.
Man, his legs got pretzel.
Whoa. That dude fucking folded. Where does Bones go?
He stopped paying for the free bone trial. They took his bones. I was wondering. I was like, on the first line, I was like, I'm pretty sure this is Macbeth, right? The signifying nothing. And then Greg said, I was like, yeah, that line goes hard as fuck. Tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury. The father ain't dead at all.
What was that nonsense he was saying, though?
Macbeth. Read a book, Naruhodo. I think. Yes, it was from William Shakespeare's Macbeth.
The Scottish
Read a
play.
book, Naruhodo. A soliloquy from Act 5, Scene 5.
Shakespeare.
Yes, Naruhodo!
Yeah!
We
So it
know
was.
this already.
That the victim, Mr. William Shakespeare, came back to life, quote-unquote. If the man had indeed been poisoned, it transpired that it hadn't killed him. He was taken by emergency carriage to a nearby hospital for treatment.
Oh, he's definitely gonna die in the hospital.
And Inspector Gregson
Have you
evicted us
seen-
from the scene of the crime, whatever that one now was.
Have you seen 1900s hospitals? They'd be like, yeah, we're just gonna get in there. Muck around.
We're gonna do some leeches
Hope you
about
don't
it, I
die.
think.
Your humors are misaligned. I'm gonna hit you with this big hammer, and that'll fix you right up.
21st February, Briar Red.
Whatever do you think will happen now?
Good question. What a strange situation for Mr. Natsume. Arrested for murder, but then the victim comes back to life.
I think perhaps the victim was never dead in the first place.
Yeah, probably.
It seems very likely that Mr. Shakespeare did consume poison, as we deduced. But it was an accident. Attempted suicide, but was it an accident? Attempted suicide or attempted murder? Till the truth can be established, imagine the police will keep Mr. Natsume in custody.
I suppose so. Let's hope it doesn't come to anything more than a night in the cells. What's this? Yeah, I also had noticed that.
Yo, the man in yellow? Bro, where is George?
What's that man doing?
Where
over
is
there?
your where's
Looks like
your
he's trying
monkey,
to see into
bro?
Soseki-san's lodgings.
Is something wrong, Mr. Naruto?
Excuse me, could we have a word? Ah!
Jesus!
Wh-
This guy's gonna have a B-based name.
He just ran off.
It's gonna be a B pun. I feel sure that I've seen that man somewhere before. Where was it?
It was the other guy that was with the
Who's
with
the other guy?
Shakespeare in the last game.
They're in cahoots.
I do too, but I don't remember. Well, we've done as much investigating here as we can, I think. Perhaps we ought to go to the prison and speak with Mr. Natsume again.
A good idea.
I'm full of them. Let's move to the prison. February 21st, local prison, cell 9.
21st.
21.
Look, Mr. Naruto.
No, I see him.
Natsume killed himself. Mr. Natsume, have the police finished questioning you now? Welcome, Mr. Naruto, Esquire.
Oh, yes?
What is he? Tell me, is he a ghost? Is he here to haunt me?
Well, let me guess. You're talking about Mr. Sholmes?
He actually calls himself a great detective, Mr. Natsume, not a ghost. But his diabolical deductions, they're not of this world. They've left me. Ah, cursed! I'm cursed, I tell you.
Well, that sort of hurts.
Credit where credit is due, Mr. Naruto. You were heavily involved in the deduction, too.
Yes, moving on. We have some wonderful news.
Oh. The victim that we all thought was dead has come back to life again.
Now, in absolutely worst case, you could only be tried for attempted murder. That's great, isn't it, Mr. Natsume?
That's terrible! Oh. I'm stuck in this cell, suffering for some silly, wrong end of the stick! You didn't you? Confess! You're a killer! Why the mustache? Constant questions!
I'm sorry to hear that.
Ah, that selfish shyster! Make up your mind, are you dead or alive? If you were going to come back to life, why bother dying? Me at Goku.
Yeah, Jesus.
Pretty good. Goku and Jesus have the same story arc. Wishy-washy William.
Well, it seems likely that Mr. Shamspear was never actually dead in the first place. I like that they're saying seems likely. Like, he wasn't.
He might be. Well, you never know. My AU fanfic where Jesus and Goku meet,
Our best
and they
friends.
just go, and they bond over having died and undied. Fuck yeah, dude. Oh yes, that might make sense. I believe that he's alive, of course. A lively debate last night was so much fun. I'd be sad to think it was our last. Oh. Oops.
Mr. Natsume, does this mean that you did see the victim last night? You met with Mr. Shamspear, didn't you?
I'm not saying another word! I demand to have a lawyer present!
Who do you think I am? Please, Mr. Natsume, we need to hear your side of the story.
Susanna's face saying, bro, you ain't a lawyer.
I love that he's like, I want a lawyer. I'm like, I am your lawyer. I got you out of jail yesterday.
Ugh, why am I cursed like this?
What did you do, you dumb bastard? Can you tell
I
us
only
exactly?
put a little arsenic in his coffee.
For
Just
flavor.
a smidge. For flavor. We all do it.
Can you tell us exactly what happened last night then, Mr. Natsume?
There's nothing to tell. But, Mr. Naruto Esquire, I'm eternally grateful to you for helping me with the Atticus case yesterday.
That case that saw poor Miss Green hospitalized after she ended up with a knife in
I love
her
her
back.
stupid little face.
Yeah, I did title the VOD from last week Little German Boy Coded.
I mean,
Just look at her,
it's
man.
crazy. Just look at her. That's a little German boy. It's hard to believe that was only yesterday.
Feels like 2 years ago.
It feels like 2 years ago. After the trial was over, I trudged my weary way back to my woe-wee wandings. I don't know. It's
Oh god, he's
worse.
getting worse.
I'm getting worse. I'm devolving. That evening, at past 9, it must have been, I visited Mr. Shamspear.
So you did go to the victim's room then?
As we feared. I didn't do anything wrong! I'd never been to his room before. It was the first time.
Then what made you decide to go?
I bumped into him when I arrived back at the house. We got chatting and it developed into a discussion. But he had to go out, so I bade him farewell.
That ties in with what Mr. Garrett had said, that the victim went out and came back after 8.
We met again later that evening, at around 9 or just after, when I took him some nice tea I'd brewed as a gift.
So it was you who brought the tea that had clearly been drunk at the scene then?
And I suppose you were discussing the works of Shakespeare, weren't you? Yes, that's right. That's exactly right.
Ah.
Romeo and Juliet. Who was the stronger? Like physically?
Like...
Emotional? It was a delightful debate. I'm sure. Such a stimulating subject, Shakespeare!
And the debate became very heated, so you slipped poison into Mr. Shamspeare's tea?
No, never, not at all!
Maybe a little.
Team Juliet won! That was me! And when I left his room, the flamboyant fellow was fighting fit! I swear it, categorically!
Cursed existence.
Also, I'm gonna get ahead of this. This definitely is not Snagglepuss anymore and hasn't been for a while.
Hasn't been for
but
a
I'm
while.
going with it.
It's a different
because
guy
it's
now.
It's like a clown voice, and it makes me happy to do. So, just tie up that loose end.
Oh, this is me. Mr. Natsume, you often say the same thing about yourself, I've noticed. That you have a cursed existence.
I'm sure I've mentioned this to you before. I've been here in Great Britain for a year now, and in that time, I've learned it's no place for me. It can be very trying to live in a foreign land and adapt to the ways of another culture. There are foreigners everywhere I look. They'll stare at me. They'll laugh. The first impression I get whenever I go out, it makes me scared to leave my room. Which is why I've become a recluse. But even in my room, I find no respite from my fear. I've moved more times than I can remember. And then 1 week ago, I moved into Briar Road.
But why? I mean, why did you choose that place? It doesn't seem very comfortable.
I'm broke, genius! Because the rent is cheap. I have so little money, it spoke to me. The rent? Yeah, we remember him, Mauler guy.
Yeah,
Mr.
yeah.
Banana Man. Bumblebee looking ass.
We saw him and Shamspeare at the same
With
time, and
Shamspeare,
I
yeah.
don't think either of them said a word. We just kind of saw them.
They were just weird, and then they were clearly characters, but then they left. And
No.
we went, oh, okay.
They left and
We went
didn't come
short.
up again until now.
Obviously, there's a reason why it's cheap. Because the room is cursed.
Cursed? Cursed how?
The previous occupant, the man who lived there before I took the room,
I know what previous
died
occupant
there.
means.
Oh no.
Huh?
He was only a young man. But one morning he was found dead, and no one could explain why.
Surely no one would want to live in a room with a history like that.
I didn't. When the letting agent recommended the place, I wavered. But I want books! And books cost the money! A horrible history is a small price to pay. When I realized it would mean I could buy more books, I signed the lease like lightning.
Brave or blinkered. What? The fucking words that this game uses sometimes.
But soon after I moved in, I came to realize what I'd done. I realized how horrible that room's history really was. Gosh, was it really so awful?
I mean, a guy died there. It's not great.
It's called foreshadowing. Foreshadowing is a literary device. How did the room's horrible history affect you, Mr. Natsumi? What happened? At first, it was just a feeling. The feeling of beady eyes boring into my back, watching me.
Do you think that might just have been your mind playing tricks on you?
No. My mind doesn't know any tricks. It was someone else.
What do you mean by that?
That's a great line. I'll have to use that someday. You trying to trick me? Not at all. I don't know how. I can't do it. It's been so one long nightmare ever since I was given the keys to that place.
A nightmare? You've been having bad dreams, you mean?
All the souls who have died in that room lean over me in my sleep and try to strangle me.
That really is horrible.
Now I come to think of it, it happened again last night too. The very same night that Mr. Shamspear was writhing in agony from the poison in his body. I was on the verge of being suffocated silently by those miserable spirits in my room. So he's got a gas leak or something, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Like clearly there's also something with it's gonna tie into whatever's actually happening with the soap and those loose bricks.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's the soap is probably some sort of like delivering secret messages or something.
Something, right? We just don't know yet. It could be a couple of
anything.
different things.
Could be
anything at this moment.
The gas leak, it's the fact that somebody's been trying to murder this dude every night and failing.
I feel like that one's probably got to be like a gas leak, though,
like,
right?
yeah,
because like that would explain why he's having trouble breathing.
Yeah.
You know. I do know.
I do
know now.
I'm curious what all of this has to do with whatever thing is going on, like, overall.
Yeah.
Like, maybe that's the secret message part, but...
We probably won't find out until we're, in the, like, court, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
You simply must move out of that room as soon as possible. Yes, you're right, I know it. And that's why I'm already searching for the next room with a history to call home. I think perhaps you should try to avoid accommodations with any kind of history at all. Otherwise, I'm scared that you yourself may become history.
Ugh! Ooh, Susato-san knows how to make the man listen.
Susato-san's like, listen here, you little shit. Of course. Mr. Lord of the Manor is worried about the curse in my room as well.
You mean Mr. Garrett?
Yes. He knows that if people keep dying there, he'll never be able to rent it out again.
Wait, multiple people have died there? Well, that's true. I, for one, wouldn't go near the place.
Ah, perhaps. That may explain why the landlord pays so much attention to the gas lamps and his tenants' movements.
You mean because he's worried about their well-being? He does
He's
seem to
worried
have
they're
an
gonna
unusual...
fucking die again.
Yeah? He does seem to have an unusually keen interest in the amount of gas in the pipes. There must be a reason why he keeps such close tabs on the occupants of his let rooms.
What do you mean he may pay so much attention to the gas lamps? Oh dear, no. It's nothing to do with you, Mr. Natsume. Please forget I said anything. Oh, now you're talking about me behind my back as well.
What's important is that Mr. Shamspear isn't in fact dead at all. Once he's come round and he's able to tell us what happened, we'll be able to get you released.
Yes, please. Oh, I do hope you're right.
Ahem, excuse me, I'm a cop probably. Oh. Not cop specifically. Inspector Gregson.
It's me, Gregson. I'll go out over here, what you just said. And on that note, I have some good news and some bad news.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Which do you want first?
Always, every time, the bad news comes first. When hope is all you have, hold on to it. That's my guiding principle.
Right, well, in that case, the good news it is.
Huh?
Oh?
Sorry, just a lot easier to explain everything that way.
It's just... It wouldn't make much sense if I told you the bad news first. It's just the order. I've got like sort of a story I've got to tell here.
I don't even know why I asked, really. Should you said it. Should you said it. That's on me.
That's my bad. I understand. Then why did you ask my preference? As you might have heard, the victim of Mr. Shakespeare was just unconscious. He's come around now.
Yes, we saw it happen in all its
Is
terrifying
the bad
glory.
news that he's gonna he's claiming that Natsume did it? He's still being briefed by doctors, but we managed to get a written statement from him already. Oh, isn't that wonderful, Mr. Natsume? Oh, thank goodness! It's all over then! I can leave the somber fell!
No.
Sorry, no, that's not on the cards. What? Why ever not, Inspector? Mr. Shakespeare implicates someone as being responsible for what happened last night.
Implicated someone?
Oh dear. You don't mean. I'm sorry to say I do, yes. He's pointed the finger at you, Mr. Natsume. Oh! My sweet poison did he seeketh down my life. That weakest cative Soskimi Natsume.
No.
So I'm afraid you'll be appearing in court as planned. I see now. I don't know which Shakespeare play that is. I'm only really good at Macbeth. You'll be wanting to make some necessary preparations.
Well.
Hold on, okay, boy.
And so, once again, Soseki-san found himself having to take the dock at the Old Bailey. Whether his room was haunted or whether he was just terribly unlucky, I knew I had no choice. The following day, I would represent him in court and do my utmost to break the curse that blighted him. To be continued.
I keep looking at the chat and seeing Mola Guy's foreshadowing thing, and in my brain, I just play the H-Bomber Guy clip again. Every goddamn time.
The memories of the clouded Kokoro. That means hope. 22nd February, 9:23 a.m. The Old Bailey. Defendant's antechamber. I was going to say lobby, but it's not. It's an antechamber, which is a different thing, I guess.
That's a different thing.
The Old Bailey. This place always makes me feel strange. I seem to get chills down my spine and break out in a nervous sweat all at the same time. Well, I didn't think I'd be back here so soon.
Is this Sholmes? Or Natsume, maybe?
I'm assuming Natsume, yeah.
That's my line! Good morning!
Ah, good morning, Mr. Natsume.
It was only 2 days ago that I was declared not guilty here.
Yes, we somehow managed to prove he didn't stab Miss Green in the back.
But now this! Another morning, another murder, and here I am again in this hellhole. Can't keep coming to court.
I'm beginning to think he's right. It really does seem as though he's cursed.
Mr. Naruhodo, I'm afraid I have bad news. Oh. Mr. Natsume, good morning. Yes, morning. So, here we are again. Yes, again. Judicial Assistant Miss Mikatoba Esquires, what's the bad news? Oh dear, you heard, did you?
You ran in here and yelled it.
She didn't think he was gonna be. Listen, she played it really cool, like a cucumber.
She's like, oh, hello, good morning. I said nothing. Don't worry about it. Smile.
If you come in here shouting at the top of your voice, people can't help hearing what you say. Oh, I am sorry.
You've done nothing wrong, Mr. Sato. Now what is it?
Well, it seems that the prosecution in today's trial, here it comes, will be led by Lord Barak Van Zeeks.
Van Zeeks?
Oh, oh no! Oh no, no! Well, you outlived the Reaper twice.
The so-called Reaper of the Bailey, the most legendary prosecutor in the land. He's so cool. In the trial 2 days ago, he pursued Suzuki-san and I
Look at this vampiric bastard. What?
Of course, by the skin of our teeth, we managed to pull through, but still. I feel like we barely have any evidence this time. Didn't Swissy voice him? No, Swissy
has never been on these streams. No,
so what
you're
happened?
Misremembering I voice Van Zeeks.
Yeah, so 2 years ago, Swissy was like, "I'm probably gonna end up playing this game without you guys." So I'm like, "Okay, then I guess we'll just like do it as a stream without you." And then he never played it.
Yep, he's never played it to this day. So, pretty funny. Perhaps Mr. Natsume's acquittal in the last trial wasn't the end of the matter, after all.
Yes, I know what you're thinking. The legend of the Reaper that says, nothing can save a person in the dock when Lord Van Zeeks is the prosecutor.
Oh, no! Even if that person is found not guilty, the accused will meet a mysterious end one way or another.
No, it was Josh doing that. And we've experienced it firsthand.
It's because I do an accent very much like Swissy's. Swissy likes making a vampire voice as well.
I don't think we ever found out who did this either.
No,
like they imply that it was Von Zeeks, but there's no way it was actually him. A man we successfully defended met the most terrifying end after his acquittal, right here in the Old Bailey.
Oh, why do I have to put up with these ice-cold eyes boring into my soul again? Cursed by evil spirits, and now by the Reaper.
Magnus McGilded.
Oh, petrifying perils, potentially. Well, if it's potentially, at least you appear to have hope, Mr. Natsume.
Did I give him a leprechaun voice? I might have.
Yes, you're remembering that correctly. Welcome, student Mr. Naruto Esquire.
It's unfortunate. I think my Irish is much better now than it used to be. Yes?
I'm innocent. You have to believe me. If I'm recalling correctly, Molo guy, we saw that his name was Mick something and immediately went leprechaun.
His name was Magnus McGilded, and he did use some Irishisms.
He was very top of the morning to you.
He had a big top hat and everything.
A big top hat. It was pretty crazy. You, more than anyone now.
Don't worry. I'll be your steadfast ally every step of the way in this battle. I promise. And this promises to be a hard battle, I fear. You'll never take my lucky charms.
You know, I gotta say, now that I'm older, I'm kind of pissed they never let him have any Lucky Charms. Dude, if I was the Tricks Rabbit, I would have done crimes. Right?
Would have
all
tied
the
up
cereal
those kids
mascots.
so they can. Why do they not let cereal mascots have the cereal? Why are there so many of them that do that?
Unless you're Tony the Tiger, who's just munching his flakes. All the other ones are always constantly denied.
Yeah, the fucking Cookie
the
Crisp
cereal.
Wolf. He's not allowed to have Cookie Crisp.
Right? Captain Crunch, I guess, is, but that's because that Jean Lafoot guy is not allowed. I'm pretty sure Toucan Sam is oft denied, but more by circumstances.
Yeah.
They don't want Lucky to get his charms, though I think he normally wins because he has magic.
Yeah, which
The
is,
Cocoa Puffs bird is constantly directly given his addiction again, which is
driven insane.
fucking crazy.
Driven to madness.
He's like, I'm finally clean, and then people go, are you? And the wave his fucking... It'd be like walking up to someone and they're like, hey, I finally got off alcohol. And you go, cool, and then you shove a bottle of Jack Daniels down their throat. How do you feel about this? Does it make you cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs? Would you have packed heat? Well, definitely. I'm American, Mole guy. It's called keeping that fang on me. Also, once we get to a good stopping point, I think I'm going to need 5 minutes. The dog is acting like a bastard.
Dog
Hold on,
time.
just see if I can get her. Sometimes she climbs off of my bed and stares at me, and it fucking bothers me. Give me 1 second just now, and I'll see if I can get her back.
Okay. I'm opening up some Pop-Tarts.
The dog is back on the bed. So I think we should be good for a little bit. A little bit longer.
Would you be surprised if I told you there's a Family Guy bit where the Trix Bunny shoots the kids to get the cereal? I think I remember the one you're talking about.
I believe I remember that one. I don't think about Family Guy very much. I'm an American Dad person. I'm an American Dad individual.
More of an
That's
Orville.
what I watch. Do you say Orville?
Orville.
Like as what?
Oh, that's another Seth MacFarlane joint.
Okay, I got confused. I was like, the Orville as in the other Seth MacFarlane project?
Yeah.
I thought you were.
That's
I thought
probably
we were,
my favorite thing he's done. I don't even actually know if he works on Family Guy anymore other than voicing for it.
He doesn't really. My brain was thinking of adult cartoons, and so you were thinking Seth MacFarlane projects.
I see.
And so I got confused for a second. I was like, what? I was like, what adult cartoon is Orville? I mean, yeah, the Orville is the best Seth MacFarlane project. In terms of like adult animations that have 1 million seasons, my favorite one is probably... Well, no, it's probably still Futurama. It's probably Futurama.
Yeah, I was going to say Futurama's pretty, yeah.
I really like Futurama. I watch Futurama. I rewatch it fairly often. I'm just saying we're getting to Family Guy levels. We were already there, Mama Guy. We've been there the whole time. You fool. You simpleton.
I like to think I'm better than Seth MacFarlane, but I'm not.
I mean, he's got some good stuff. The Orville is like the best Star Trek product that exists, I think. Definitely the best one that exists that isn't official.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
I think it's even better than some. I think it's even better than some of the official spin-offs, depending, because some of those I hear are pretty bad. And the Orville is genuinely pretty good. And he, though I have a theory that he did the entire show as an excuse to meet Dolly Parton. Because she guest stars in an episode later. Minor spoiling for the Orville, I guess. Hey, Steven.
That's all I've been able to think about for the last, like, 5 minutes.
It gets me fucking every time. The trial is scheduled to begin shortly. We should move into the courtroom.
Let's go! Wahoo!
Wahoo!
Yaha!
What?
Here we go!
Oh yes, I forgot to say. I'm afraid he won't be able to make it. Mr. Sholmes, I mean. Oh no.
That's probably for the best.
Yeah. Oh.
If he were here, I might be tempted to rely on his help. And that could be seen as a weakness. If Lord Von Zeeks were to notice, he'd prey on it mercilessly. At least that's my gut feeling.
Mr. Naruto. You're right. Yes, you're so right. Oh, well said, locum student, Mr. Naruto, Esquire. Well said.
Swallowing Pop-Tart. I swear on the sword at my side and on the spirit of Cosmo that it harbors. I'll show him what a Japanese lawyer can do. I'll set you free with honor.
When you have to swear by the sword on your side, but your mouth is full of Pop-Tart. Oh, yes. I'll even say it. Hi.
Hi. 22nd February.
Also, hey,
9:40
you know
in the
about
Old Bailey
Japanese.
courtroom.
Is it ganbate or ganbare?
It's batte, because there's the way it's written. It's got the little tsu symbol that means that you like put a little pause there and then double the start of the next one. Both are correct, says
Okay.
Ball Guy. All right, he knows more than me.
It's both? Damn, that's crazy. That's wild. Oh, yes. I have to remember how this judge went. I'm pretty sure I just did normal judge, but British.
I think so.
Does that sound correct?
It does.
I think that's correct. So, let me...
Little glasses. Two forms of the same verb. Ah, okay.
Actually,
like
before I
Gunbody,
do
that.
this...
Oh yeah, you're right, because the te form is a different. I'm almost through the first like chunk of the Busu Japanese lessons. I've got like one more unit to go before I can take the test and move on to the second unit. I just learned about the te form. I don't think I fully understand it, but I think it's what you use primarily if you're either making a request or if you're using multiple verbs in the same sentence. Use asking favors in the imperative form, which is more forceful. Yes.
Yeah, it sounds right. I don't know. I kind of like gave up on Mandarin again, and then now I just keep doing the fucking first lesson that talks about food. But if you need to know how to say your rice, I got you.
I'm still not very good at stringing sentences together, but I'm definitely much better at reading than I used to be.
Okay. Water. Perfect.
At the name of Her Majesty the Queen, by and by declare this court to be in session. I now call upon the counsel for the prosecution to fetch to declare their willingness to proceed.
There he is. There he is. It's the boy.
Literally just standing like a fucking vampire.
How do you say ice cream? Bing chilling.
Yeah.
Got you. Got you, Molo guy. Bing means ice. I know because that's how, if you want to say iced coffee, it's Bing Cafe. I'll be honest, yeah, Bing Cafe. I should double check the tone on that, Bing.
I think that's
Cafe is definitely
that's the thing
cafe.
that, like, Japanese is complicated. But at least I'm choking on Pop-Tart. Oh god.
How do you still have Pop-Tart in your mouth?
I don't. I finished it. Just suddenly I started talking and a piece of it dislodged from my throat or something. Ugh. Japanese is very complicated just because it has a bunch of, like, grammar rules that English does not. But to my knowledge, Japanese does not have different words that are the same thing but mean a different thing depending on the tone.
Yeah, it's not a tonal language. Mandarin's kind of the opposite. As far as I know, as far as I've seen, all the grammar is very much what you would expect as an English speaker. Like, it's not that hard to figure out the grammar of basic sentences. Like, your hot tea is you say your, then hot, then tea, for example. You know what I mean?
Right.
But, yeah, it's like, it's tones. And so, like, you, like the word ma means, like, has, like, 5 different meanings, depending on if it's, like, first, if it's ma, or ma, or ma, or ma. Or no tone, which is like ma, ma, ma.
If either of us were smart, we'd be learning, like, Spanish or something, but that's not what we're here for.
Apparently not. Spanish could be actively useful.
Yeah, that could get me, like, you know, job qualifications or whatever.
I just think, and again, I don't know that this will ever happen because I'm incredibly lazy, but I think it would be really funny to, like, know a bunch of Mandarin. I don't know why. Like, I don't think it's a funny language per se. I just think that there's a weird natural comedy in being who I am and then also being like, yeah, I also know Mandarin. And people would be like, why do you know that? And I'd be like, literally no reason. I think it's funny to me because there would be no reason to do it. You know what I mean?
Who
would ever speak Spanish? I know, right? All those Spanish people. All those Spanish speakers. They should just learn American. I will say though, I see some memes sometimes about like Mexican Spanish versus like Spain Spanish, and they seem really funny. Like there's this one like it's like a pronoun or something, a pronoun class that apparently is not used at all in Mexican Spanish, but is still used in Spain Spanish, where it's like usted, ustes, and then like there's like another one. And I saw a video on it, and it seemed very funny. And everyone in the comment was saying, ja, ja, ja. So, oh, there it is. Mulligan knew what I was talking about. I was gonna say, I was like, apparently that first one is not used in Mexican.
Yeah, it was something
Spanish.
That I remember they made. It's a like a verb form or whatever that they make us that I do remember being taught in my Spanish classes. But knowing that that the majority of people I would be speaking to as an American who would be speaking Spanish just don't use that at all. I'm like, why would you teach us this version of Spanish?
You know? The plural you, yeah. See, why even have a plural you? Just do what America does and have the same one. You know? Easy.
Use.
Hey, well, that's slang. Use guys.
That's if you're either Midwestern or like an old-timey gangster.
It depends how you say use. It's the difference between use and use. Oh, use guys. Are you ready?
Thou.
Midwestern is almost a tonal language. I will not be elaborating. All right. How did I find the bad Dracula? Bleh. I want to suck your blood. The prosecution is ready.
The defense is ready, my lord.
Ah, yes. Readiness for the trial. My learned Nipponese friend is not what the defense needs.
I was literally just answering the judge's question, man.
I'm going to gut you like a fish. I'm so excited to get to say learned Nipponese friend over and over. AEV has figured out what the U is versus you are. Bro. What you need is readiness for your inevitable defeat.
It's not just in my imagination, it's really there. Lord Van Zeeks has such an animosity towards us Japanese for some reason.
I fucking hate the Japanese! It was some time ago now that he first became known as the Reaper of the Bailey, I believe. These past few years, he hasn't appeared in court at all.
Yeah, now he's back in the courtroom, though for some reason, only when I'm defending. This Reaper with his furious disdain for us Japanese.
Imagine being so racist that you show up every time a Japanese person is on trial or on the defense team. Like, you just appear like a ghost.
The ghost of racist past. This Reaper with his curious disdain for us Japanese is a prosecutor shrouded in mystery. Still, this isn't the time to be pondering that. I have to concentrate on Soseki-san's trial.
As more, I will now call upon the 6 ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
Oh yeah, they got the whole flame thing.
You have been told that random to represent the will of the people in this trial. Are you ready to fulfill your duty?
Oh God.
It's him.
It's Money Man.
Yes.
I don't remember any of these.
It was me.
Who did them? Ah.
I was this guy because I was trying to do like a high-pitched Gregson, and that was basically it.
Absolutely. I feel this larrikin weren't innocent.
I must say that I feel especially ruthless on days when my hat refuses to sit right. Oh, this fucking
This
guy.
was you.
Oh, well, I'll rather like how you're wearing your hat. Oh, I think the ruthless looks very fetching, actually. Oh, this is a new one.
This is a new one. You should be this one, because then you'll be. I'm pretty sure I'm the next guy.
Oh yeah, no, I recognize him. I need to be
We should have
somewhere
made a
at 10
list.
o'clock. I have a very important meeting. Let's make this quick.
Oh right, this is the guy that I
Man
did a
the Savage.
Macho Man voice.
I couldn't agree more. I need to take home 5 bob tonight, or the missus will go through the roof.
Oh, may the Lord show us all the light here, lead his flock to a righteous verdict. What the fuck? He wasn't
That guy
religious
wasn't
last
religious
time.
before.
He was
the
an old man and a doctor, I think.
British jury system is so very different to our own, isn't it? It's quite extraordinary to think that the power of the judge is in the hands of 6 members of the public. That the judge can only pass sentence when all jurors are in agreement about the defendant's guilt.
Very different
I'm
from
saying this,
America,
but-
where the judge can just kind of determine that the jurors are wrong.
I mean, that depends on a lot, but yeah.
6 citizens
But I
of
don't think-
London chosen at random, or at least that's the
Judges
idea.
can't throw out, like, a they can't throw out the
Right.
by the jury. The jury can get hung, but that means that they couldn't come to an agreement. The prosecution would draw attention to the fact that the accused was on trial here but 2 days ago. Accordingly, where possible, the same jurors have been asked to return for the duty today. That explains why there's so many repeats.
That doesn't seem... Something about that seems wrong to me.
Well, I mean, he wasn't guilty last time. It should theoretically be good for us, right?
I guess.
I agree that it's weird, but
It feels wrong.
in terms of how this would actually play out, it would be an upside. I think, anyways.
Especially the
Hey, well,
guy didn't even die this
Oh.
time.
well, commence the trial. Alright, opening statement, please.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, it is not the intent of the prosecution to cast doubt over your past decision. Even though you are wrong and I hate you all. However, the innocent verdict afforded to this eccentric Nipponese before has had dire consequences. Did the accused repent for his wrongdoing in that affair?
He didn't do
Far
anything
from
wrong. He was
Far
walking down
from
the road.
Far from it!
How long do you think until the leg comes out?
Instead, he used his... How long do you think the leg comes out? It'll come out this trial at least once. That's a big one, though. You gotta work up to that, you know what I mean?
He'll break a few wine glasses first.
Yeah, and then he'll do the leg, and then eventually he'll throw a whole bottle. Instead, he used his freedom to perpetrate the most blood-curdling crime. Oh, do you think vampires curdle blood to make blood cheese?
Oh no. Unpleasant. I don't know what that means, but I don't like it.
Namely, that the attempted murder of his neighboring lodger, an innocent Englishman. To explain the circumstances of the crime, the prosecution calls its first witnesses to stand. It's Gregson and somebody else. Oh, look at him. What a guy. The detective responsible for investigating the scene, and the accused himself.
Sorry, something about the fucking difference between those two people.
Gregson is so chill, man. Dude has so many chips. Witnesses, your names and occupations, please.
Yes, sir. Tobias Gregson, Detective Inspector at Scotland Yard's Homicide Division.
Oh no, on both of these, I just remembered. Sakura, Natsume from the Empire of Japan. I got worse. My government wanted me to come here as a student to study your language and culture.
Mr. Natsume.
Yes, my lord, sir.
I'm quite sure, I'm not mistaken, that you swore off never to set foot in my courtroom again.
Yeah, well.
I remember as if it were yesterday.
The day before, in fact, my lord. But close enough. Oh, believe me, this is the last place I want to be. Gregson considerably listen, the problem is logistics, Mola guy. Listen, it has always been logistics.
He can only
capitalism,
produce one
but
fish
also
at a time.
We have enough food for everyone in the world right now. The problem is getting it to places. And capitalism. That's kind of one problem. But it's a logistic problem. The cape is off. Inspector, let's hear from you first. Explain the case for the court.
Right you are, sir.
It's gonna be me talking to myself for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Wait, it happens sometimes.
It's a going about somewhere the defendant has lodgings. In the ground floor of the victim room of the victim, Mr. William Champion.
I also just completely missed the word room in that sentence. It's like, huh?
Huh? Huh? The defendant had already admitted to visiting the moment in question. Mr. Champion grabbed his room as a lot of poison by strychnine.
Strychnine?
Is it strychnine?
Strychnine.
It's strychnine, right?
I know this one. I'm a true crime dork. I know this one.
He was found tomorrow morning when the landlord was suspecting something was wrong and broke down the door.
White odorless bitter crystalline powder. Intravenously. I'm double checking to see if there's any clues with strychnine.
Yeah, listen, I know how it's pronounced. I don't necessarily remember what it does. I just know it's
It was
poison.
historically used in small doses to strengthen muscle contractions, bowel stimulant, and a performance-enhancing drug.
Yeah.
Remember, the difference between a drug and poison is amount.
This explains Tom was that the door to the victim's room was locked at the time of the incident.
Locked room puzzle. It was an orangutan.
It has to be every time.
Every fucking time. I will die mad about the murders of the room ward. I'll fucking die mad, dude.
What was he cooking?
What? Bro was cooking nothing. And the murderer, an orangutan. Oh my god. That's like me building up a really suspenseful story about how like all these people disappeared from this boat, and then at the end I just go, and it was a weird fish.
A weird fish.
Like that's it.
Weird fish ate
A
him.
weird fish did it. Weird fish got him.
Gets him every time.
Correct, my lord. It was locked from the inside, making it entry or exit from the room impossible.
Although the victim, Mr. Shamsbury, lives to tell the tale. He very nearly didn't. And I was halfway to heaven when we first found him.
Well, he's probably closer before you left him to like go dick around for a bit and then came back and realized he wasn't dead.
And you went, oh shit.
I was the first officer on the scene, my lord.
London's only
I
got
have
one
very-
cop, you see.
We are a lot of faceless guys, and then me. So I gotta be a lot of places.
Well, and there's that really poor guy. So there's three.
There's at least 3 cops.
There's a million faceless cops, then 1 Gregson, and 1 super broke bitch.
I have a photographic print here that I took at the time to show how it looked.
That
See, do you see
stain on the
big
ground
puddle
wasn't
under
there
the
before.
gas.
That was not there when we were there.
I'm trying to figure out exactly what it is. Do you think they were like stealing gas somehow?
Maybe?
I don't know. There's something with the gas, man.
It's gotta be something with the gas.
And this goes all the way up
It's
to
right
the top,
underneath the
'cause
gas
was
gauge.
Garrett was being fishy.
So we
So
might have
it's something that's
suspected
going up
that
to the
someone's
top.
stealing the gas.
There's something going on with this gas, dude. me when my toots are stinky.
Damn.
As a chilly scene indeed. The man looks very much deceased. That's right. Everyone present believed that's exactly what it was. None of us checked for pulse. We forgot. Very well. My this photographic print as evidence for the court.
Crime scene photograph has been entered in the court record.
How then, Mr. Natsume?
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
I can defend it. Get ready to say this juncture.
They're haunted by evil spirits.
Good gracious. What's haunted?
My lodgings. There's been a whole series of strange happenings in my lodgings.
So, Shamspear was on the ground floor, right? And then Soseki was on the
Natsume
one
was
above
also
him?
on.
Or were they
No,
both
he's
on the
also ground floor.
Oh,
They're
okay.
both ground floor. Yeah. Because remember, the yellow guy was looking into Natsume's lodgings,
Ah, right, yes.
which are also
And
ground
he had
floor.
one of those weird soap bars outside his window also, if that's the case.
Yes. Yes, it seems so. The tenant before me died in mysterious circumstances. A woman was stabbed by no one on the street outside. My neighbor was poisoned and me. What about me? I've nearly been killed countless times.
You, Mr. Matsuman? How?
Even on that fateful night it happened. When I returned from Mr. Shamspear's room, I lit my gas stove and climbed into bed, but before long, the stove went out, and somebody tried to kill me.
You must always extinguish all fires before time for the Natsume.
But it's so cold, my runny nose would freeze. The point is, I didn't poison my neighbor.
I know I just said a bunch of bullshit, but like, let's not forget the important thing.
The important thing is I didn't do it. Oh, why am I being accused of this? Why is my existence so cursed?
Thank you, witnesses. I believe I have a reasonably clear picture of events.
If I could raise one more point, my lord. One more conclusive point.
Conclusive. Go on.
Fortunately, the victim, Mr. Shamspear, has regained consciousness after his ordeal. And he has named the true culprit. The poison consumed by the victim was administered in a cup of tea that he drank on the night in question. Tea, my lord, that was brought to the victim's room by the accused.
The accused? Good grief!
He looks so sad.
Order! Order!
Yes, that's the crux of this whole case. If Soseki-san is innocent, then why? Why was the victim accused him?
Well, Mr. Natsume, whatever you say to this accusation.
That evening, yes, I did take some freshly brewed tea with me when I visited Mr. Shakespeare's room as a gift. The public water pump outside always freezes at night, so I brought bottled water especially to make it. This is the result. Never will I touch tea again. Never.
The public pump was frozen, you say?
That's not information we've heard before.
That will do, thank you. Now go into our loans and event was our opportunity to come to witness at this point. If I call boys witnessing now for formal testimony, is the public you damn victim?
Of course I do.
I'll kill you when you stand.
Mhm.
None whatsoever, my lord.
Good. Then he will give you an account of events on another question to the court now.
Yeah, my lord.
But Gregson's just side-eyeing him.
It's a great
Witness
sight.
testimony. The catastrophic night.
It was around 9 o'clock that evening when I visited my neighbor and I took some tea with me as a gift. We had a heated literary debate of a nice hot drink, and after which I went back to my room around 11. Oh, my tea was completely harmless. He couldn't have locked the door behind me otherwise, could he?
But no, it takes some time to have effect on the body, even on Kilo immediately after taking it. Victor would have been perfectly able to lock the door after his guest left. Argument still stands.
Well, that's unfortunate.
And yes, I've seen. It all seems relatively straightforward.
Excuse me, bud. That testimony does raise one other crucial point, I think. I just realized I'm every fucking person in this room but Naruto.
Woo!
Wow, I think that's the most that it's ever been. I think it's the most it's ever lined up like this.
Yeah, usually it's the other way around.
Mr. Natsume claims his tea to have been harmless. Presumably, though, the teacups have been examined for traces of the poison, haven't they?
Why didn't I think of that?
His stupid little face.
Yeah.
I haven't, no, we haven't been able to, because someone took the damn teacups!
Fine.
Because someone took the damn teacups! Who could have done that? Who could have took the damn teacups?
Naruto just slowly slides them out of his pocket and puts them on the bench.
Oh, look, I found him. Guys, someone put him right over here, haha.
Weird.
Oh, you correct me, Inspector. Scotland Yard has failed to examine this suspect substance.
How could you have overlooked something so important? Isn't that the first thing you should have done?
He forgot he has the teacups. My learned that the Nipponese friend is falsely incensed.
Huh?
The inspector said Scotland Yard was unable to examine the tea. Not that it was overlooked.
Unable? Why?
It's simple enough. There was none left. No drop. John must have been very thirsty indeed.
There's always some left.
Glug glug.
With current scientific techniques, it's not possible to test for poison under such circumstances.
We did only a drop, but that one drop does have to exist, funnily enough.
Fucking, I love Gregson.
Believe it or not. Would you believe it?
And if you can believe it.
And if you can't believe it. The lack of examination notwithstanding, it appears nothing other than the tea passed the victim's lips on the night in question.
Then why did somebody
see.
make him look like he was eating? Eating soap.
I see. Thank you. No matter is clear.
Hold on.
Oh.
I was polishing my glasses, and I literally can't read text on my computer screens with my glasses off because my eyes are heinously bad.
I always take my glasses off when I get on my computer, which is probably not what I should be doing.
I literally say I sit a normal distance from my computer, right? Like, what's that? A little over, just over a foot maybe, from the screen. Like computer distance away, like a foot and a half ish. Hold on, let me get the. Okay, yeah, like somewhere over 12 inches, under 2 feet. Literally, I can't read a single word of this text with my glasses off. Not at all.
Incredible.
I know, right? Cast your eyes over the jury. Go on.
Now my bad vision is mostly distant. I can't read, right? Like up close, I'm fine. It's just if something is like 20 feet away or so, it's hard.
Mine is doesn't clear up until I am about 6 inches from my face.
And that's just not a practical way to do things.
No, it isn't. Like it's wild how bad my eyes are. They gotta be in the upper like 20 percentile or something.
It's crazy.
Cause like I remember last time I got my eyeball prescriptions, one of the numbers was real fucking high. Like I told some about it and they went like, wait, that can't be right. I'm like, no, it is, dude. My eyeballs are bad. Both my parents had shit eyes. And I think they combined. I think the powers that be. I also have astigmatism, but not enough that they can be corrected for.
Yeah.
It's the perfect amount of astigmatism. So that's pretty cool. I often think about how if I had been born back in like the 1800s, well, besides all the other things that would be all the other bad things, but like there is like hundreds of thousands of years of human history where I would probably have just died as a result of having like absolutely terrible eyes. And I'm like, damn, it's a good thing we figured out lenses and shit.
Thanks, optometrists.
Thanks, guys. Cast your eyes over the jury, my learned friend.
What?
You can see it in their faces, I'm sure. The recognition of the accused guilt.
I see mostly blank expressions here, if I'm being honest with you.
I love Jesus. Your client's fate is all but sealed. In mere moments from now, you will lose, and your compatriot will be damned for all eternity.
Objection? The prosecution is being really hostile. He's right. I can feel all 6 of the jurors looking daggers at me. But I can't let them beat me down. I won't.
When do you think we're gonna have to do that special thing we did last game, where we did like a fucking
we can
it was
pause
called?
the trial and be like, "Hey, wait a minute, everybody. Hold on, wait."
It was like a weird thing with the jury, right? Remember?
Yeah, it's where you like all
like
the jurors talk, and then we all like go like, that doesn't make sense with that, and like that
actually,
kind of
yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna the thing where we can essentially stop the trial for a little bit and go like, "Hey, listen, everybody,
listen up.
We've had a lot of fun.
Listen up, you. Listen, everybody. Out of order, let's proceed with your cross-examination.
Yes, my lord. Cross-examination. The catastrophic night. And I'm just gonna press everything.
Hold it!
I feel like we don't have the info we need at the moment. Were you and your neighbors good friends then?
Oh, no! We weren't friends! Not at all! Not at all! That stupid Romeo bastard! Never ever!
A simple no would have sufficed. Then, why did you decide to pay him a visit?
The Shakespeare fancied himself as having great literary knowledge. As a fellow scholar of English literature, we find much to talk about together.
We just fucking hate it every time.
We hate our fucking guts. But you know, when in Rome. Oh my god, Fancy.
This one is just racist.
I mean, he's been pretty racist, but this one is like somehow more blatant than normal. Come now, no Nipponese could understand the finer points of English literature.
And on the night, we just ignore him. And on the night of question was the topic of conversation as well, I assume.
That was so hard to read, I dropped out of my Dracula voice mostly. It was the day, it just didn't feel right. It was the day of my last trial when I was acquitted. I had just arrived back in my lodging when I ran into Mr. Shakespeare outside on the street. That was around 6 o'clock. I exchanged 1 or 2 pleasantries, but soon turned into a heated discussion. He was on his way out at the time, though. So I promised to visit his room that evening at 9 to continue our debate. But did I have ill intentions? No, not one, not two, not any. None at all. Never, ever. I thought he was going to do more. A simple no would have sufficed, I feel. Then tell the court what did happen when you visited the victim's room.
A heated literary debate about Romeo and Juliet, which one is stronger, I guess. And you won. A literary debate about Shakespeare's works, I think you said, didn't you?
Shakespeare? Oh, where were we talking discussion, I must
Oh
say.
god, everyone's a dork in here.
Oh yes, my lord. Romeo and Juliet, who was stronger? It was a profoundly pleasurable parley.
Romeo and Juliet?
Who was stronger?
I know I'm going to regret asking this, but how did the debate go?
Well, we both agreed that we would reach a conclusion more quickly with a reenactment. We made out lobby style. So we battled it out in the Greco-Roman affair.
What?
Mr. Shakespeare had all sorts of costumes in his room for just such a contest. I dressed as Juliet, of course.
So when you say a reenactment, you mean you were actually in costume?
He is Romeo, I is Juliet, and after a vigorous wild Bro, Natsume and his fucking boyfriend fucking dressed up and wrestled each other around. Incredible.
Wild.
And they were roommates.
When they said they were having a debate, I did not expect that they were wrestling in cosplay.
Romeo is older and has much stuff. Yeah, in terms of physically, who was stronger? Romeo was like a 16-year-old boy instead of a 14-year-old girl. It was probably Romeo. Also not important, but you know. Well, because
yeah, but he died
shown,
faster, so you know.
It's show. Did he?
Yeah, he died
I think
first,
he died
and then
slower.
Well,
oh, you meant faster as in
sooner.
terms of time.
Sooner, yes.
Well, yeah, but that's because he thought the love of his life was dead.
Fucking idiot.
Listen.
Just look for a pulse.
Listen, Juliet could have just told him. And I know there's that whole thing where, like, there was a plan to tell him, but then they couldn't because the fucking road was blocked or whatever.
The fucking, yeah, monk was
I'll be honest,
slow or
Romeo and
something.
Juliet is a lot better if you read it as a comedy. I, as Juliet, came out on top. A victory I'll cherish forever.
I dare not imagine the terrible scene of carnage.
The fact remains that it was you who prepared the tea and took it to the victim, correct? I boiled the water in my room and made a pot to take with me. I'd heard that he was too poor to have tea himself, you see.
It's true, there was no sign of any tea leaves in the man's room.
I wanted to do something nice, to be friendly. So why is everyone looking at me with such suspicion?
Man.
Oof. My
Poor
tea
guy.
was harmless. Of course it was.
And do you have any basis for that statement, witness?
I fucking drank it! I feel like this is not helpful, but I'm gonna hold it anyway. Yes, there was not a drop of tea left in the victim's room anywhere, was there?
Correct. Anyone in the show never had a pot of tea before. Must have licked it dry. Is it a pity? There's one drop was all we would need to analyze poison.
You say that you returned home to your room at 11 o'clock, Mr. Natsume?
Yes, definitely. By heaven and earth, I swear it.
And no one was able to verify that as it happens. also confirmed that the defendant went back to his room at 11 that night. But how was the landlord able to attest to this?
Gas.
Yeah, that was the lamps, I believe.
I mean,
The lamps, Inspector?
a fair question. When tenants return to their rooms and start using gas, the lamps in other parts of the house flicker.
Yes, Mr. Garrett seems to pay a lot of attention to the comings and goings of his tenants. There's only one key to Mr. Shamspeare's room. I know that for certain. So he must have locked the door himself from inside his room.
The victim has confirmed that to be the case, yes.
So I'm right. My key was harmless. Completely harmless. If you take poison, you die. Everyone knows that. People die when they are killed.
It's not that simple, I'm afraid.
Oh, what do you mean?
Like, at best, this is like attempted manslaughter, right? Like, he clearly doesn't. Like, he could be lying, I guess, in the eyes of the jury, but this man is clearly not, like, trying to murder this guy.
Hold it!
Listen, you never
Hold
know.
it. The
In the
strychnine.
throes of passion.
How long does it take for symptoms to appear then?
I go into the corner and speaking to the yard about 30 minutes after the poison is consumed. And the victim suffers violent convulsions, cramping, stiffness, eventually dies from asphyxiation.
So there's a 30-minute interval between when the poison is ingested and the onset of symptoms. Seem to be a lot of different types of poison in the world, that's for sure.
Yeah. Oh dear. Death by poisoning again. It's always so awful. I hope I don't have to deal with it. Soon.
Soon, or ever.
Ever. 30 minutes is a long time. Me, when I'm reading the instructions for a frozen food.
Same
You
though.
ever seen those ones where it's like, put it in for 40 minutes, and I'm like, bruh.
I'm like, I'm
Who has
hungry.
the
I'm
time?
hungry now. It's the same reason
You
why I've
think
never
I-
used that fucking pizza stone. I don't want pizza an hour and a half from now. 20 minutes is long enough.
Certainly long enough for the victim to have locked the door behind him after the accused left.
You can't deny that. And it further degrades Soseki-san's alibi.
The medical report from the doctor who examined the victim here, my lord. It's spells it out, really. He accused the only person who could have done it. Very well, the court will add this report to the court record of evidence.
Report issued by Scotland Yard's medical officer. It obviously mentions the poison as well as other details gleaned during the police investigation. What kind of details?
Now I have to read it. Oh yes, I see it here. Delayed onset of symptoms.
Great.
To the court record.
To the court record. Well, to the present menu right now, but we're not gonna actually. Can I not examine this? Oh, I can, okay. Victim, William Shamspeare, 31. Cause of coma, ingestion of a small quantity of strychnine. Toxic effects present 30 minutes after ingestion. High likelihood of the substance having been mixed with the tea the victim was drinking, but no sample could be obtained for testing. Investigative conclusions. The poisoning incident occurred at around 1:30
1:30
a.m.
a.m.
On 21st February, assessment from the victim's pocket watch that appears to have broken when the man collapsed after a delayed onset of symptoms. No container for the poison was found at the scene. Okay, well that time seems pretty obvious then, doesn't it? That was fucking 2 hours later. No, hold on. One of these talked about the
It's
time.
probably one of these, right?
One of these talked about the time, right? Went back to my room at around 11.
I went back to my room.
Objection!
Objection! Mr. Natsume,
Mis-
you say it was 11 p.m. when you left to return to your room, correct?
Yes.
Good pose. And Inspector Gregson, can we rely on the information in the medical report unconditionally?
Of course we can. There's no problem with that report, sunshine.
Actually,
look at
I
him.
think
Look
there's a
how
very
cocky he
big
is.
problem.
Hey,
Because
I've
there's a
got little
chronological
idea.
inconsistency between it and the defendant's testimony.
Oh, Colin, what? What are you on about?
According to this report, the victim must have consumed the poison at around 1:30 in the morning. And yet, The defendant, Mr. Natsume, left the victim's room at 11.
Oh,
I love that fucking face.
It's very good.
Yes, that's right. There's more than 2 hours of missing time there.
no.
In other words, if there was a poison in the tea that Mr. Natsume brought to the victim's room, how could the victim have fallen ill to it 2.5 full hours after the defendant left?
Whoa! Whoa!
How do you respond to a man, Zeeks?
You're a hoe. Your mom's a hoe. I'm not going to drink this. Watch.
I'm going to sniff it.
Into the flyer, so. Pray forgive the discourtesy if my mind has wandered. I was considering what cuisine would best complement the contents of my hollowed chalice this luncheon. How could it have happened, you ask?
He didn't drink the tea until 2.5 hours later.
Oh, he did the hand crush. Nice. I do hate to shatter illusions, but my Nipponese friend appears to be chasing a phantom ideal.
A phantom?
Yes, it was a tea ghost. It is so hard. Is it so hard to imagine that the victim drank his tea after the accused has left? For example, at the time stated in the medical report. Yes, at around 1:30.
Objection! Mr. Natsume brought the tea with him to drink together with his neighbor. And in Japan, there's a well-known saying, drink tea while it's hot.
Objection!
I forgot that his objection is different.
And in my country, there's an even more apt saying. Fuck you. There is nothing more refreshing than cold tea.
The point is, if there was such a long gap, there may be other ways to explain how the victim came to be poisoned. Other possibilities.
What's all about abilities, Council?
I didn't... Well, for example, the man could have had another visitor.
Another visitor. That's a very bold assertion, my learned friend. From someone who has nothing to substantiate it.
Or, the victim could have taken the poison of his own volition.
It was that this man made a suicide.
Objection!
His objection is
Objection.
so violent.
Mr. Shamspeare has categorically denied suicide. The idea can and must be discounted.
Objection! But he could be lying. Oh no, he's getting more and more angry by the moment.
There's something wrong with that, Zeeks.
I was listening to the sound of the carriage pulling up outside of the courtroom.
What are you, a fucking bat? What?
Pray forgive the discourtesy.
Carriage? What carriage?
It would seem that the key player in this case has just arrived.
Hold it!
I assume it's Shamspeare, yes.
Out, out, brief candle! Life's but a walking shadow. A poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot full of sound and fury, signifying nothing.
Does this guy only know Macbeth?
And that only that specific part of Macbeth?
He only knows, like, the late soliloquy in Macbeth?
Who, sir, are you?
William Shamspeare, my lord. Alas, 'twas I, undone by these bitter events. I am the victim. What? What's he doing here?
Fucking look at this
He has a
line.
fucking scepter.
Bro, the fucking full court shot is wild right now. We've got an actual vampire. That Natsume with his dumb wooden sandals, but like nothing else. That's
Mostly
Japanese
just wearing a
in
suit.
fashion. Then fucking Prince Farquaad over here. Nuts. Absolutely incoherent. The prosecution seeks to call this gentleman to the stand. With his testimony, my learned friend's futile resistance will be utterly crushed.
You're calling him as a witness?
Very well, counsel. I'll grant your request with interest. I'm curious to discover what the court shall hear from the victim himself.
What a
Happy
fucking
am I,
cock.
Shamspeare, to regale thee with my tale of woe, my lord.
I would kill this man with hammers. But I have my own tale to tell. My own tale of worst woe. I can regale the court with my tale of perfect innocence and perfect English.
That will do, Mr. Not Human. Let the court now hear from the victim.
Yes, yes, we know. What? Where did you come
Hey, dude.
from? All right, so that's Mr. Shamspeare. But who's that other man beside him?
It's
He's
gonna
got
be
a
fun, I
powerful
can
chin.
feel it. It feels like he should talk like Popeye.
Yeah, a little bit. I was also thinking
Yes.
Popeye.
Right? Strong to the finish because he eats his spinach. I'm Popeye the
Sailor Man.
Have you ever watched a Popeye cartoon and really just been like, damn, this guy's crazy. He's cracked as hell.
Popeye is really busted.
Popeye is like wildly powerful. I'm pretty sure Popeye plus spinach like no diffs anyone in any other media. It's crazy. And they weren't even going for that. They just like had him do goofy cartoon shit, you know? I ate me spinach and now I'm going to assemble a warship for the efforts. That's not, I didn't even make that one up. Yes, I feel sure that we've caught a glimpse of that man before. State your names and occupations for the court, please, witnesses.
A writer of words so sweet they do scent to the breeze, an inventor of ideas so profound they compose the earth. The unrivaled poet, the unmatched scribe, William Shakespeare. Were the great bard to be recalled to life anew, lo, what a magnificent man. Good fellows, I am he who ponders such a miracle, William Shamspeare.
Yeah, see, there. A drawn B. I haven't fully figured out the B pun in his name, but he's got
trying
B
to
in
figure
there.
it out.
A drone B meter man?
Meter man, I
A
guess.
drone B? Meter man is something weird. Meter man?
What does he mean? What did he mean by this?
What does he mean by meter man? Meter man.
Okay, let me see if I can. Is there a. I'm trying to not read any of this page other than maybe if there's a part in the biological information that mentions pun. Hold on, is there like an etymology? The names of Meterman and William Shakespeare were not given during the Greatest Attorney. However, Mysterious Man. Okay, well, hold on. In English, it's Adrian B is a play on a drone bee.
A drone B, yeah.
Okay.
We got that part though.
And Meterman comes
trying
from
to-
Meterman, a reference to his job.
Oh, it's literally just because he is a meter man. I thought it was all B pun. Because remember, I said a drone B, yeah. Because he's got like a bee butt.
Because he's.
I don't know if you
he's
saw
a-
it earlier.
He's a bee guy, yeah.
He's got like a bee butt. Or whatever. It's
this
probably
guy's
like a
buzzing.
bag or something. I'm like, a drone bee makes sense. But meter man was like completely out of left field.
Nah, it's just his job.
It's kind of lazy, isn't it?
Suppose so.
They could have called him a drone bee honeycomb.
Just spelled it weird or something. Anyway, I'm assuming. Do you want me to be the meter man also?
Let me think here. Who am I currently?
Everybody
right
in
now
this
I'm
courtroom
Zeus.
except for Rionosuke and the Shamspeare.
You probably should take this guy then,
All right.
just so it's more even.
I'm gonna. He's kind of a gruff guy, I think.
Popeye.
I want to say Popeye, but I don't think I can do a good Popeye impression. Oh, the name's Meter Man. A drone be Meter Man.
Just throwing a few haze.
I work for the Ultimate Gas Company, East End branch office.
Ah, so here's the gas link.
Yeah.
Me talking about the different states of Link. I remember now. It was yesterday on Briar Road.
Oh yes, she's right. It's him.
See, look at his B butt.
Yeah.
Is his B butt in the back there?
Yeah, it's his bag. Yeah.
His bag's a B bag.
Oh, what's this? His bag is in such a position as to look like a bee. What's that man
He's got that
doing
B butt.
there? He looks like he's trying to see
B-butt
into
B-bag,
Saseki-san's
you know what I'm
lodgings.
Oh, yeah. Is something wrong, Mr. Naruto?
Excuse me, could we have a word?
I wasn't sure if we were rereading this or not.
Ah. And then he
And it just
disappeared.
I love the way he fades out like that. Pretty cool.
Yes, we spotted him outside Mr. Garrett's house that morning. And he's a gas company employee. What does he have to do with this case?
So it's me, William. Yeah. You are in this miserable fail, right?
Oh heaven, oh hell. Do you command me to remember? That sweet poison that did cross me and cross mine innocent lips.
I subpoenaed him for the trial, with his doctor's permission, naturally. Here in the latest here in the testimony of the aggrieved will remove any room for doubt from the juror's mind, I'm sure.
Behold. Did I imagine that fucking piano noise, or was that in the game?
I think it was the game, right?
That was crazy.
Yeah, there's a gas leak in this house.
Behold, you have only to rearrange the letters of my name to see that me is a seraph, an angel indeed.
Me's a seraph.
Shit, man. Thus be I noble of mind, sweet of nature, and verily honest of heart, as all heavenly angels be.
That works for me. I'm pronouncing innocent.
Because there isn't a less contrived meaning in your name. No, not at all.
The jurors seem very moved by this man, I'm afraid.
They're actually taking this seraph anagram idea seriously.
I love angels.
I love angels being a god. I'm a doctor of God, they call me.
They call me the God Doctor. Do they? No, but they should.
No, but they should.
They should, though. It's a cool name, you know?
I do hear people say, "Oh God, Doctor, why?"
I assume they're talking about how good I am in the Lord stuff.
Jesus' name.
I'm really taking this and run with it.
Thank you, witnesses, for your illuminating introductions.
But my lord, what's the man next to Mr. Shamspear doing here? The gas man, I mean. What, me? Well now.
Allow me to enlighten my learned friend. You recall, I presume, your earlier impertinence, when you suggested the victim had another visitor in his room on the night in question. And moreover, that the victim is a compulsive liar.
What? No, I didn't quite say that.
This young chin stroker.
What?
Man, maybe it's just because it's Zeke's, but that sounds like a slur. Is here to controvert. Or would I say that as a vampire? Is here to controvert your wild claims conclusively. Is that not so, Mr. Mieterman?
Hang on, no, I'm just here. I'm giving him a weird thing that I don't think I'm going to be able to get rid of.
Yeah, sometimes
it'll find a place.
You'll figure it out. You'll get somewhere with it. You have to.
It'll land someplace. I don't know where yet.
To. You don't understand. This is not a maybe thing.
I'm a call for your formal testimonies. You tell the court as lucidly as possible what happened on the night in question.
Let's play at this game. The guy also gave that character a Popeye voice. Yeah, just look at him. That's Popeye. That's him.
It's
One may
just
smile
Popeye.
and smile
But a
and be a
bee.
villain. Yes, it doth pain me, but let the truth be spoken. The truth of that wintry night of my discontent.
That was the winter of our discontent.
He's got the large chin of a Popeye. What do you do?
He's got a real Popeye going on, you know what I'm saying?
The winter, if fucking olive green is little German boy coded, that guy is Popeye coded.
Pop guy.
Pop guy coded. Coded for the pop
You know
guy.
Pop guy? You know Pop guy.
The wintry night of my
Everyone loves
discontent.
Pop guy.
The snow lay about. My neighbor did cometh in the evening, bearing a gift of tea. But marry,
He did what?
bitter was his drink, and when he left I did fall prostrate on my table. 'Twas the tea alone did pass my lips that late hour, naught else. I was outside this bloke's window in the freezing cold all night, keeping an eye on his room. No one else visited the room but that short little round-backed Eastern fella. Yeah, see? Wait, what did you say? You were keeping an eye on Mr. Shamspeare's room all night? That's right. Of course, the bloke's window is all but blocked up, isn't it? But there's a little gap in the bricks where you can see into the room. So I spent the night trying to keep my teeth from chattering as I peered in through that. Why?
The question is, sir, why?
Yeah! Well, now, that's because he's on my list. What a piece of work is a man. Wherefore wouldst thou not stare in wonderment? What are you talking about? This buzzing busybody hath not part in this play. I pray thee, pay him no heed, make no more ado about his tedious words. What do you say about me?
Calm yourself. He's Adrian the Meter Man. He lives in a garbage can. His court is concerned with what happened on the night in question. Nothing more.
Indeed, that is so.
I love how
And as the
every
testimony-
fucking ace attorney prosecutor is like, we don't have to talk about things outside of exactly what happened. As if context is completely irrelevant every time.
There is no reason to care about things that happen. Shut the fuck up.
Events are never connected to one another.
And as the testimony we have just heard clearly reveals, there was none other than the accused present at the time who could have carried out the crime.
Huh.
I
well, maybe go, Babu.
I love God.
Well, I believe this may be a final testimony of the trial.
Oh, that was fast.
Our counsel, the defense may proceed with the cross-examination.
Yes, my lord.
Do you want to handle that
Yeah, I was gonna.
next time?
I was gonna do a next time. Once I
That's the
have
perfect
control
time to
again.
next time.
All right. So we'll save there, and we'll investigate this man next time. So thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll catch you next time. And also tomorrow for... I haven't made a schedule yet. I actually don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. Well, that's Swissy. I'm probably doing Paper Mario. So we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Yahoo?